There's what's known as reasonable doubt. Yeah. The doubt that prevents one from being firmly convinced, yeah, of a defendant's guilt, or the belief that there is a real possibility that a defendant is not guilty. Yeah. Now, beyond a reasonable doubt is the standard used by a jury to determine whether a criminal defendant is guilty. See the Model Penal Code 1.12. Yeah. Now, in deciding whether guilt has been proved beyond a reasonable doubt, the jury must begin with the presumption, yes, that the defendant is innocent. The moral certainty, the burden of persuasion, clear and convincing evidence under evidence, preponderance of the evidence. Yes. Now, this idea of the reasonable person, yeah, and reasonable notice, yes, and reasonable medical probability. Now, in proving the cause of an injury, a standard requiring a showing that the injury is more than likely than caused by a particular stimulus based on the general consensus of recognized medical thought. Yes. Now, let's say you're in the mental health profession, and there's the reasonable mental health probability that an individual explains to law enforcement that they weren't actually in that city, and they give law enforcement the evidence that they weren't there. Yes. And then they give the evidence to law enforcement. Yes. That more than likely the petitioner wasn't there. Oh. Now, what is the reasonable mental health probability? Yes. That I'm bipolar or schizophrenic. See, when I go to suing the psychiatrists of this nation, I'm going to ask each one of them, do you think it's reasonable, yes, that I could have been diagnosed as being bipolar or schizophrenic? Yes. Knowing that I wasn't in SQUIM. Oh. And then while, yes, I'm questioning the petitioner, yes. Or is it the individual that was the actress of the crime? Yeah. See, I was put in jail for 27 days, yes, for the accusation of violating the no contact protection order, yes. And then when I informed the public defender's office, yes, well, I wasn't there. They decided to prosecute anyway. And then when I informed them that I wanted, yes, notice from the state of jurisdiction, I had to wait until going to jail, yes, to find out that everything was being sent here. Now, reasonable mental health probability. For every mental health professional in the United States, yes, that would say that the diagnosis is incorrect, yes, based upon the evidence that I wasn't there, and more than likely the victim wasn't there, known as the petitioner. Ooch. Now, since the petitioner and the respondent were not there, who is it that committed the crime? Now, those individuals might have a mental illness or defect. Oh, really? You'd have to be somewhat psychotic, wouldn't you? Yes. To pretend that you are a petitioner when you're not. You'd have to have some sort of a sociological problem. Yes. See, I was obligated to go to court for 16 months because somebody said I sent an email. Yes. To Heidi Budnick's workplace. But I didn't. Yeah. So, who was the actual petitioner? Yes. That said that I sent an email to her place of work. And who was it that said that I was in Jefferson County on June 16th of 2017? See, there's some very deranged individuals, yes, that have a delusion, yeah, that thinks that they can fabricate fake crimes against innocent American citizens, yes. Now, who is it that needs the psychotic medication, the psychotropic medication? Because my thought is, right now, is not, there's not a reasonable mental health professional in the nation, yes, that would think that there was any probability, yeah, that I'm schizophrenic, bipolar, or delusional. Now you get me them pooch, as well as every document they've signed, because if I find a look-alike, yes. If I find some sewing technology of a technology company, yes. Sewing into those that have been diagnosed, yes. Now yesterday I explained to the judge, mental health evaluation. Why does the respondent need a mental health evaluation? Yes, when the respondent was not given any due process. Why does the respondent need a mental health evaluation when you used forgery to issue court orders? Why do I need a mental health evaluation? Now, since the police department won't enforce the laws, yeah, the sheriff's department won't do it, yes. Since the senior community has been bribing those in office, yes. I'd just like to know what psychiatry thinks about mental health evaluations, yes, for respondents right now that were never given the notice and opportunity to explain to the judge, yes, that the petitioner kidnapped my sons from Guam. Now, for all of you in the mental health profession, yes, I want to mention, yes, that you put in publication, yes, you did, pal, the notice of a court hearing where the sheriff's department called me so that I would not get a copy of the dissolution of marriage. Now, I don't think you really appreciate, yes, this idea of the reasonable mental health professional. Yes, because there is no possible way, yes, that you cannot be prosecuted. I'll give you an example. You reissued a protection order on June 1st of 2015. Yes. I would think that every one of the temporary protection orders, yes, had the same condition of a mental health evaluation. Yeah. You didn't attempt service on me from June 1st to June 12th. Yes. You scheduled a court hearing 48 days later. Yes. The police or sheriff's department say they attempted to serve me. Yeah. But they didn't, because they did know who I was. Yeah. And they could have served me. You did not want me to appear in court. Yes. Because I might have requested everything in the court file. Pooch. I might have even requested a copy of the dissolution of marriage. Oh. Now, you thought I had to pay 50 cents a page to get a copy of it. Now, I would think that somewhere along the line during these court hearings for uh, orders for protection, yeah, as the respondent, yes, I would have the right to have everything that the judge has, yes, in the reasoning of why it is you issued a protection order. Now, Brent Baston, could you get me all the mental health professionals in Mormonism? Oh, and every one of the endowed, yes, that has a mental illness or mental defect, too. And any prescriptions that are being prescribed, yes, by any of the pharmacists that happen to be Mormon, yes, and they can purchase what is known as the magic underwear. Now, let's say that you have a special Mormon pill for those that have a mental illness or defect, yes, that you go to a special Mormon pharmacist, yes, because you go to a special Mormon psychiatrist, yes, that's wearing special underwear that can only be purchased from the Mormon denomination. Now,